Welcome, 4K, to another week of art coming to you from the art room virtually. This week, I heard you are doing a little bit of nursery rhymes. So I have a little painting project to introduce you a little bit to painting. And we're going to be talking about Baa Baa Black Sheep, the nursery rhyme. So with that said, let's go upside down mode, and then I'll show you what we're doing today. All right, so we have a picture that I created, and it has a sheep. And right now, the sheep is white. What we're going to do is we are going to add some black to those circles inside of the sheep's wool. But before we do that, I thought we could have a little bit of fun, and I don't do enough singing with my own daughter. And so sometimes it's just because I don't have anything in front of me, and sometimes I don't remember the words. And so this is a really nice thing that you'll be able to paint and then bring home, and you can sing with your parents. So what I did is I put the words of the song all the way around the sheep. And I thought it was also a really nice way to teach kind of turning and following along. And so I'm going to sing the song for all of you, and you're going to follow along just like I'm doing with the turning and with your finger on each word. Okay. So my apologies for my singing. So we start here, and there's a little rectangle that says start. Okay. So this is the regular way, just like we're looking at the sheep. So we start with Baa Baa Black Sheep, and we turn because we follow this arrow. Have you any wool? Turn. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full. Turn. 1 for the master, and 1 for the dame. 1 for the little boy who lives down the lane. Now it says down here to repeat, and so I was going kind of fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right back to where we started, and we're going to do it one more time. I'm just going to go slower so that you can follow along with my fingers, and I'll make sure that I point at each word. So Baa Baa Black Sheep. Have you any wool? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full. 1 for the master, and 1 for the dame. 1 for the little boy who lives down the lane. So that is probably as much singing as you're going to get out of Mr. Lonzak, but I'm happy to do it. Nursery rhymes are a great way to learn words and different things. So we are now going to do a little bit of painting. Now, usually when we paint, we use brushes, okay? And we will use brushes later on in the school year. But today we're going to use something else. So you can see these brushes go from big to really small, but we can also use different things like Q-tips to paint. Sometimes I use cardboard and all sorts of things that you can find around the house. So that is what we're going to use. And if we're doing Baa Baa Black Sheep, we need some black paint. Okay, so your teacher is going to get you some black paint. And if you're at home, feel free to color each of these circles with a marker if you don't have paint. If you do have paint, then that's awesome, and you can use whatever you need to use at home to color these in. Okay. So what I'm going to do is we're going to use one end. The other end we're going to keep clean so that we can hold on to it. Right. And I'm going to start closest to my paint. So if my paint's over here, maybe I want to start there. But I'm going to start by touching the paint. Now I didn't dunk this all the way in. All I did was touch just a little bit of my Q-tip. So you'll notice the other side doesn't have anything on it, right? And we're always going to just barely touch it, okay? So I'm going to start close to my sheep, and all I'm going to do is start in the middle, and then I'm going to do a spiral. We're going to imagine that these are curls, okay? And if you have enough paint on your Q-tip to do the whole thing, great. I ran out. I didn't go outside the lines. I'm happy with that. Now I go back in and I barely touch the paint. Okay, and I'll zoom back out after this one. So I start in the center, and now I'm going to make a spiral, which is basically making the shape circle. Okay. And now I'll go back into my paint, just barely touching it, and I'm going to do the next one. And this one I'm kind of running out of paint, so that's okay. I'm done with that one, and then I'm just going to keep going. Now I'm going to stop talking. We'll see if I can do that, and just continue painting. And you can sit back and watch me finish the sheep. So again, just barely touching. Sorry, I can't stay quiet for long. One thing that you'll notice is I'm working and I'm keeping this part of my hand away from all the wet paint. So that's why I started all the way over on this side, so that as I work, I'm getting away from the paint. If I do one down here and I'm worried about getting my hand because I got to reach up to that one, I could always turn my paper a different way so that I don't end up putting my hands in the paint. And the last one. Okay. So if you did this right, you'll notice the back side of my Q-tip still doesn't have any paint in it because I barely touched the paint each time. And because I was pushing and making those spirals, those circle patterns, I have a little bit of a flattened part where it would touch the paper. Okay. So I'm going to take this. You're going to listen to your teacher, but when you're all done, you're going to take this and put it in the garbage. And then your paint, we're going to let the grown-ups take care of that. And then if we look at the finished product, we end up with a really nice painted black sheep. So you'll let these dry, and then you can take them home and ask mom, dad, grandma, whoever is at home to sing with you. It's a really nice nursery rhyme and a really good way to learn some new words. Okay. Good luck. Bye, everyone. See you next week.